Hello, this is Moses Woodson from MP Designs, and we're here today at the Masters Farm in Greenville, Tennessee. And we're here today talking about the timeless fence system. There's a lot of posts out here like this today. This is a PVC rigid post. This is the only post that we use, and it is a complete system. You can use the posts individually, but what we're going to talk about is the complete system. You have, first off, it's non-conductive. From the corner post to your line post, they're all non-conductive, which means no shorts. The number one complaint we have today is from homeowners and farmers is, I'm constantly having shorts. With the timeless fence system, you no longer have to worry about any shorts because all the posts are non-conductive. The other problem that we have that customers talk about is something falling on the fence, or the fence, some tree falling on the fence, some kind of impact on the fence. We have a lot of things that happen on farms. Round rolls get into fences, and the thing about the timeless fence system is the whole fence works as a one organism. If you have pressure in the middle of the fence, say a tree falls on the fence, and I'm going to just simulate. Now I'm going to lay it on this fence here pretty good. And what we're looking at here is from the corners all the way to this point is taking the shock of this impact. We're looking at one organism working as an accordion, so that when I come off of the fence, the whole fence comes back. Not just one post taking the impact of a tree limb or a bull going through it or a cow going through it. And if it's electric, if you have your fence electrified, that's probably not going to be the case anyway. So the whole thing works as an accordion. In a conventional type fence, you have posts, and usually people will run so many steel T-posts and then they'll put a wood post. And what happens is the fence is tied fast in each of those locations on the T-posts and on the line posts, and that causes that one particular post to take the brunt of the impact. And when you have metal posts, the same effect that is here, when I lay on this fence, if I were a tree or whatever, what would happen to every one of these steel posts is that they would bend, but they would not come back. They would be bent. So then you would be left, and just me laying on it, if those were steel posts, you would have to come back in and straighten those posts up. The ones that bent, you'd then have to straighten out or take them out and replace them. So the timeless fence system has a lot of advantages just in the way that it works and the product that it's made out of. Each post has a memory. Once you drive it in the ground, it wants to come back to this position. Every time I bend it over, it wants to come back to that position. And these will take a huge amount of force in both directions. I mean, I'm pulling on, the thing that's limiting me here is my high tensile wire. My high tensile wire is keeping me from going on over. And the more I pull, if I were heavier or if I put more strain on it, the more each individual post would take more of that pressure away, instead of just that one post taking the brunt of the force. So this here is a 4-strand, and this is high tensile. And one of the things that we run into a lot with horse people is they talk about horses getting hurt on high tensile. And the first thing I tell them is that if a horse gets hurt on high tensile, it's not installed properly. If a high tensile fence is tight and you're using the timeless fence system there again, it's almost impossible for a horse to get hurt. Fences serve two purposes. One is barrier. That's just the fence being up there and the horse not wanting to get on the other side. And the other is deterrent, which is a horse coming up, and if several of these strands are hot or electrified, then the horse is not going to want to get close to it in the first place. But say a horse is Everybody in the horse industry, I've owned horses my whole life. Horses get out of control. Horses get crazy. Say it's running around and it runs into this fence. On a conventional type fence, you've got, there again, you've got the fixed posts, you've got T-posts, and they're all fixed, and T-posts don't want to give like the timeless, so therefore the horse is hitting something that doesn't have any bounce to it. I've put up these fences for people that did not want electrified, and their horses have went through them, and that they said they couldn't tell the difference between the fence before and after the horse went through it, and the horse didn't have no adverse effects because the whole fence gave. And as we all know, if you give a horse any kind of chance at all, they're probably going to take and find somewhere to get hurt. But in my opinion, this is the safest fence there is for horses. It's the safest choice for horse fencing, these posts, because if a horse does get crazy, runs into it, the whole fence is going to give over, and it's going to give, and it's not going to cause that horse to hit something hard. I've had horses in the past get hurt on woven wire. I've had horses get hurt on 4-panel board fence. I've had them get hurt on barbed wire, and it was all because that the fence did not give. Even barbed wire on this post and the timeless fence system would be safer than some other types of fencing. So thanks again for stopping by. This is Moses Woodson from MP Designs.